Hello and welcome to our program Where God Weeps, a program where we talk about the realities of the Catholic Church around the world, especially in those regions where she struggles to share her message due to difficult circumstances, discrimination, or persecution. Today we will be looking at Sierra Leone, on the west coast of Africa. It is a small country and its name means Lion Mountain. It is rich in diamonds, gold, and in many other natural resources. It is, however, one of the poorest countries in the world, and is still recovering from the effects of a decade of civil war, as well as an outbreak of Ebola in 2014. Let's take a brief look now at the country's most recent history.
Lying on West Africa's hilly west coast, Freetown is a city of freedom, with a history that goes back to 1787. Former slaves returning from Nova Scotia, loyal to the British, settled here. In 1808, Sierra Leone became a British colony. The city, and therefore Sierra Leone as a whole, regained its freedom and independence in 1961. In 1967, Siaka Stevens' government was overthrown following a military coup, though he managed to return to power in a year and became president of the republic within 3 years. By the end of the 1970s, Sierra Leone was a one-party state. A civil war broke out in 1991 when the Revolutionary United Front, the RUF, led by former Corporal Foday Sanko, attacked Sierra Leone from Liberia. The country was consumed by a turbulent 10-year-long war that intermittently lasted until January 2002. Civilians suffered unusually violent atrocities. Kidnappings, mutilations, rape, and the forced recruitment of children into the army were the order of the day. Kidnapped children aged from 4 to 16 were trained and exploited in the fighting. It is estimated that by the end of the war, 30% of the soldiers were under 15 years of age, whilst 90% of kidnapped girls were sexually abused. One of the war's key elements, apart from the power struggle, was the fight for access to Sierra Leone's diamond and rutile mines, which helped finance arms purchases. Through the international network of jewelry retailers, blood diamonds have supplied and continue to supply world markets.
Just over a decade after the war, as the country was rebuilding, the people of Sierra Leone were plunged into further suffering when the country was ravaged again. This time not by war, but by the deadly Ebola virus.
Era un nemico invisibile, non lo vedevi, era attorno a te, poteva capitarti qualsiasi cosa, non ci si parlava uno di fronte all'altro, non ci si toccava, niente pace in chiesa, niente distanti uno dall'altro. C'era una paura del contagio incredibile.
Still, I be the toilet, I the vomit, I the toilet, I the vomit. Now I talk, I say, Father, for say this not the end of my life.
I been get belly, young belly. Cambodente and Ebola don't worse. Say the sick affect me man. So me man die. I mean they take care of me picking there, nobody will they help me.
We tell God thank you. We God don't make this Ebola done. This Ebola we make na this Tonya, but people then die. And they pass 100 people they will die. And we always see them, so we all now widow them.
Bambini che piangevano in casa perché i genitori erano morti, nessuno li consolava e nessuno entrava in quella casa perché c'era Ebola. Come si fa? Condividere il loro pianto, la loro sofferenza. Misericordia è una persona che soffre e tu sei vicino.
That last phrase, mercy is a human that suffers and you are close to them. That's exactly what the church is called to be. In all situations, war, disease, famine, the church always stays. She does not leave, but suffers too, close to her children. His Excellency Charles Campbell, Bishop of Bow, shares his thoughts and hopes for his country. He also explains the religious makeup of Sierra Leone and the situation of the Catholic Church.
Sierra Leone is a wounded country. After the 10-year civil war, we tried to pick up the pieces, and then again we were struck by this Ebola. It was devastating for us. The cost of fuel has gone up, so that has affected other products as well. So things are expensive. Violence is on the increase. There's a lot of theft cases because people are not employed, especially the young people. The scars are still in people's hearts and minds. Any little thing might trigger. I only hope that we will listen to each other instead of fighting.
78% of Sierra Leone's population are Muslim, predominantly Sunni. Over 20% are Christian of different denominations, whilst traditional religions remain very strong throughout the country. The history of the Catholic Church in Sierra Leone dates back to 1510, when Portuguese missionaries came to this land with merchants. The first native priest of the Diocese of Freetown and Bow was ordained as recently as 1961. Today, there are about 175,000 Catholics in 4 dioceses.
The Muslims are strong. They are increasing. First of all, they are already in the majority, but we see that there are new sects coming in, and this is causing some problems, some worries. There's a good relationship between Christians and Muslims here, generally. People are surprised when I say I'm from a Muslim home myself. My mom is a Muslim. My elder sister, another younger brother, they're all Muslims. Perhaps what might be an issue, you call them rightly sects, the various Christian splinter groups. There are so many now coming up and so on. And they preach prosperity to our people. They work on the psychological situation of our people. I believe people who want to get married, people who want to go to the first world, they want to go to America, they want to go to Europe. So they talk to them and they pray for them. They will tell them they will pray and they will get visa. And they will pray and they will get married. They will pray and they will get jobs. We are a small group. Christians are in the minority, but we have a strong force to reckon with. The people look up to us. Majority of the schools are owned by the church. Aid to Church in Need helps us a lot to set up our pastoral facilities. We thank God for the gift of the faith. Now maybe it's time also to share, because the growth, the faith has grown. The people are still committed to the faith. The vocations are here. We have learned the faith or got the faith through the missionaries from the West, and we have kept it.
As Bishop Campbell mentioned, Faith is a great gift that invites gratitude, and it's also to be shared. Sister Mary Colum had this experience as a young girl. She was inspired by the sacrifice of the religious sisters she knew and felt called to share their lives.
When I was a child, Sister Mary Colum, she was the first person to go to her house. She named me after her. So after that time, I used to call myself a sister. Even in the house, they used to call me a sister. I like the sacrifices that the sisters do. They sacrifice themselves a lot for people. They work in schools, they work with different people, children, the sick people. And I said I want to become a sister. The prayer life. Although it was not easy. I didn't just accept it just like that. In the beginning, it was very difficult for me because the sisterism is based on Jesus Christ in the Blessed Sacrament. So they do adoration every day. So we will go to the chapel, we will kneel down in front of the Blessed Sacrament. Sometimes we don't know, what are we doing? Just staring at the Blessed Sacrament, looking, and when we are tired, you sit down. But later I come to like that. And now I feel blessed. Yes, that God really called me to be a sister. I'm not regretting it at all.
Sister Mary Colum's order, the Claretian Missionary Sisters of the Blessed Sacrament, runs schools for girls. Though the Catholic Church is a small minority in Sierra Leone, most schools are owned by the Church. Sister Mary explains us why the work of the sisters in education is so important.
When the sisters came to this part of the country, at that time, 1960, the girls were not allowed to go to school. They said school is for men, not for girls. So the sisters were so upset. They said, no, it's not possible. What will be the future of this place if the girls or women are not allowed to go to school, or they are not allowed to learn something on their own that will benefit them tomorrow? So the sisters tried. It was not easy for them. They will go from house to house. They talk to the parents. That is very important. We want your children to go to school. You will see the benefit. This place will develop. In Sierra Leone, mostly we work in the schools, all for girls and women. In all the schools, over 3,000. Vocational school, women go there to learn different trades. They do gara tie-dyeing to make clothes. They do cosmetology, business administration, and they have computer classes there. And they do also catering. They learn how to cook, prepare different types of dishes. Okay, we work in the parish. We give catechesis to the people in the parish. We have a retreat house. We have a clinic. Well, we have also our stations where we used to go. The local vocation is growing in our congregation. We need the help of the Universal Church to come and help the people here in Sierra Leone. They really need your help.
Sister Mary Colum asked for help for the people of Sierra Leone. This is because her country has suffered enormously. During the war, over 50,000 people lost their lives, and over 60,000 orphans and street children were left without care. This number is even higher now after the Ebola outbreak of 2014. In desperation, many children ended up on the streets because they had nowhere to go and no one to take care of them. This is where the presence of the Church as a mother is so vital and so valued.
So now they gave me the camp. That's how we fit cold when they get the car, I go snap me and do what. So what snap me and do what? I don't know for say the man this now you do what. He say Kaisa soon, he say Kaisa soon. He make it written and I go inside now. So now you know to say now lights go. When lights go now he own me. This me to Anne and I send me behind me. He wake me. My stepfather, they are treating me, abuse me, drive me. So my mother said, he said he no get side for me for a day. So my na come on a street. Beaucoup picking up in a street, then thief, they go and lie down for money, they go and beg, they do plenty things. Some they don't die, some they in a hospital they admit, some they get sick. So they're in a cell.
We have found on the streets 9 years girls doing prostitution in order to survive. But not because they want, it's because they are forced to do it. Because they want to feed their siblings, because they want to pay the school fees of brothers and sisters, because they want to buy clothes for themselves or they want to eat. And to our surprise, we discovered that there are many. And in some places, only these girls, underage girls, doing prostitution, and boys and men coming to them. And not only Sierra Leoneans, but sometimes rich people, they come with their big cars, no? And they pick them and they throw them like 2 discardable bottles, no? You drink, you use, you enjoy, and you throw away like an object. These are children, no? But living hell on the streets. Sometimes I think I would like to write a Sierra Leonean Via Crucis, no? Because when I see the Stations of the Cross, I say, Jesus today is there on the streets. Jesus is in them, no? He is suffering in them.
Father Jorge Crisefulli, who we just saw in the video, is a Salesian father. He runs a Don Bosco house for boys who have been living on the streets. There, these boys encounter a home, love, and crucially, a chance to live a different kind of life.
One night, I meet up some gangster them. I began phone and my pocket switch, earphone. They meet me, then round up me, pull my phone, beat me. Now I can see me is aid. You know, them beat me, call Don Bosco, line 323. From there, Father George, go there, go pick me. I don't get no fumble, I go call. I don't get nobody number, not only Don Bosco. So I decided for calling.
It was impossible to recognize whom he was. And they told me, it's one of your boys, it's one of Don Bosco, former boys. I cannot recognize him because his face was disfigured, no? Cuts, broken arm, and cuts all over her body, bleeding. And I brought him to emergency hospital. I remember so clearly, no? The nurse looked at me with resignation. He told me, you again, no? I said, Father, forget about these boys, and you are wasting your money, you are wasting your time. Let them die on the street, that is what they deserve. And I was shocked at what the nurse told me, no? And I told me, no, but you don't understand who we are, no? We are Don Bosco. It's not that these boys are evil, it's that nobody stood in front of them, looked at their eyes and told them, there is such a potential of good in you, no? He was looking at me and I fixed my eyes on him and I felt such pity for him, no? Such compassion, and I knew what I was about to tell him. What do you want to do when you recover? Would you like to go back to the streets, or you want to take in your hands this second chance, second opportunity that God is giving you?
Among those who Jesus would go in search of are former child soldiers. Scarred by atrocities they have been forced to commit, many have found a home in Don Bosco. And it is through this family that the Church is striving to bring healing to these young men and to support them towards a better future.
I was a boy, 9 years. I was living with my family. The rebels attacked my village. They take me to the barracks. I was trained to fight as a child soldier during the war.
I really don't remember my age. I'm very little. I killed my mother, I killed my father, gave me a lot of drugs. I have to kill a lot of people.
Killing, burn houses, chop hands. I was drugged at time and I was forced to do it. If you don't do it, you get killed. And when I'm with the weapon, anything that I want, I will get it. If I want wife, I say, oh, I need this. If I wanted to get food from anybody, I'm with my weapon. This is war.
War is no good. They destroy a lot of things in my life. They destroy my education. They destroy my future. I don't feel good because I kill a lot of people. Sometimes I dream these people come around me. I have a lot of problems in my head.
They use me and they abuse me. Because that time as a child I was supposed to be in school. That time as a child I was supposed to stay with my family. I have 3 children now. This is my son. This is the other one. This is the small one, Fabrizio. I'm happy for this. I don't want what happened to me to happen to my children. This is my dream. And my dream is for me to educate my children in the future, so they will not be like me.
As we have seen and heard, there is a profound need for healing in the country, and the Church seeks to be the consoling hands, face, and heart of Christ. Fully conscious of both the enormity and the gift of these missions are Sierra Leone's seminarians.
It is not easy because people expect a lot from us.
We will have to resolve a lot of problems.
It demands sacrifice.
You have to detach yourselves from material things.
You don't know if you have the money to survive.
You have to be ready to be poor.
You will have to learn for long years.
It is difficult to obey the authorities.
The society in Sierra Leone is more cultural than religious.
They will think you are mad because you have no wife.
Sometimes I will feel lonely. They will expect holiness from you.
Because I want to serve Christ in those at the margins of society.
I want to be charitable to the poor.
I want to help to bring people to Christ.
I want to serve God's people.
I believe it is a call from God.
I want to live an exemplary life like Christ.
I want to become a spiritual leader.
I want to be with the poor, the unloved, and the needy.
I want to be a humble servant of God and people.
Life is an important game and I want to play the right side of it.
I want to win souls for God.
What a powerful reflection of the face of Christ in these young men. What hope they bring for the future of Sierra Leone. Please pray for this country. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us in another episode of Where God Weeps, in depth. If you want to know more about the work of the church in Sierra Leone, we encourage you to contact the information at the end of this program. Thank you, and God bless.